Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Good Enough Mom podcast. I'm your host, Natasha. I'm in a good mood today because I got my hair done. Yep, it was looking crazy. I'll find a before picture. Well, not crazy. I don't want to define my hair that way, but it was looking like someone had not given it attention. I hadn't even realized until I went to my stylist today that I had had a weave in for 4.5 months, a weave in my hair. So that was crazy. So it got me thinking about an episode for today about us being a good enough mom, how to celebrate. Oh, I forgot to say it was my birthday too. It was my birthday this week. And it was like how to celebrate birthdays in a good enough way. Birthdays can be so stressful. When they're yours, they're stressful because you have the anticipation that someone will do something for you, your husband, your kids, whoever your partner, whatever your boss. And you have the anticipation building together with the fear. And then the day actually comes. And if they brought you stuff, great, the birthday is great. But you still felt anxiety before. If they didn't bring you anything, you're sad, you're depressed, you're disappointed. That was me for a long time, waiting for people to celebrate me. And I completely kind of stopped celebrating birthdays. And one thing that changed that trajectory is my friends and opening up. So I told them how I felt about birthdays. And these friends of mine during the pandemic, my co-working group, we had never met in person. I just joined a co-work someone had posted whose work I loved. And that's Adrienne Reed. So she posted that she was going to have a co-work. I joined the co-work and we would just work together on Zoom all day. So told them how I felt about like nobody ever celebrates me for my birthday and my birthdays are depressing and all that. And they actually had one of our friends deliver. This is pandemic time. Pandemic started in March and this was July. So it was still when people thought the world was going to end. But they put money together. They got me flowers. I think they got me like chocolate and wine. And they were like, you have to celebrate yourself. So that was the start of me starting to learn how, as a good enough mom, to celebrate my birthday because I don't want to do a birthday where I am spending so much money and time and whatever planning how to celebrate myself. I'm always of the idea it's just better when someone else does it. But then I have to realize, like, in a good enough way, respectfully, all of your friends are going through their own stuff. So last year, I think I made a post about it, how birthdays felt lonely for me, or like I just felt like nobody celebrated me and I was waiting for my kids to grow up and celebrate me. And then a bunch of my mom friends were reaching out and they were like, nobody celebrates me either. And I'm married. Another friend of mine said, you know what? The only thing I got for my birthday last year is my husband gave me a card the next day that like he got from like the gas station. Not even on the actual day. He gave it to her the next day. And that made me start thinking, instead of me feeling bad that my birthday is not celebrated, I should celebrate my friends. Like, just remember all my friends' birthdays. It's as simple as adding it to a calendar and texting them. Or if I see that my friend has posted that it's their birthday, instead of just typing HBD or happy birthday, I'll actually send them a text or a call, depending on how much time I have, even though I rarely call anyone, that I'll make them like, hey, happy birthday, and all that stuff. So for my friends who are close, I'll try to, let's go out to brunch, my treat or something. So I started that last year. And this year, I'm telling you, it really paid off. My friend Rachel had us over with my kids and we swam and she said, come over, let's celebrate your birthday in a chill way. Why this lady had the whole table full of food, cake, everything, like it was so cool. And then my sister is here, so my older sister did stuff for me and all that. Anyway, I don't want to go too far down that path. All I want to say is allow the people in your life to celebrate your birthday by letting them know how you usually feel about your birthday. So don't sulk. Your husband's not going to know what's going on in your head just because you are quiet. And then if you asked what happened, you're like, nothing, but you're pissed. Like, no, say how you feel and try to celebrate your friends and then they'll celebrate you back. But now let's talk about when it's your kids' birthdays, because those you can't ignore. You can't just be like, oh, I'm not going to do anything. How do you do a good enough birthday so you're not too stressed when you're planning your kid's birthday? First of all, anything under three should really be simple. Because I know people say your kid's not going to remember that. It's not about them remembering. You do birthdays for you as well as your friends. But unless you're paying a caterer, a planner, and all of that, you have a toddler. They're still going to need you the next day. They're going to be cranky because their bedtime is past, or they're going to be cranky the next day on top of everything else you have to do. So keep it simple, or allow someone else to completely plan everything, either planner or even your sister or a friend, your godmother, whoever wants to like take that on and can follow simple instructions. Let them do that and take over the birthday. Another thing you could do, which I start pretty early, is you can look at Pinterest and get some ideas and tips and stuff and start using those to kind of have a vague idea of what you want to do. And then if someone asks, what are you doing for the birthday? And they offer help, like, just let me know if you need help. Take the help. Please take the help. But when you take the help, don't take general help, like, oh, just however you want to help. No, give them a specific task that just falls on them. I once had a birthday disaster because I didn't allocate stuff, and then people were here already. The burgers hadn't even started being grilled because everybody was like, oh, I'm waiting for this person, I'm waiting for this person. And some people, they say they want to help, but they don't really want to help. And you want to weed out those people. The only way to weed them out so you have more space with the people who do want to help is to give them an actual task and ask them if they can come through. And then if they go hesitant, take them off the list. So that's another thing. Another way to make your birthdays easy is do an Amazon wish list, or if you, well, a lot of people are not supporting Amazon with good reason, find another way to do a list of what your kid wants. Some things should be essentials they need. Some things should be purely for fun. Ask them. They're probably going to ask for like $2,000 worth of Robux or whatever. Kids don't even care about like socks and clothes and cute lunch boxes that they'll need. But you know that they need those. So you can add those and then add a few fun things for them. Different ranges of price from super high to super low so that everybody can fit. Because grandma's going to buy something from there, as well as like your child's neighbor or something like that. So you don't want to put too many things of one price. Do that even when they're older. And sometimes when they're super older, let them make a list. But or have them ask for just gift cards or something like that. Just keep it to where you're not getting a lot of guesswork with presents and trying to return and exchange things and stuff like that. If you're putting a wish list, put your child's size, shoe size, clothes size, because if you don't put it, then they have to ask you. You're wasting time and giving yourself more work. So just put it on the invite. Another thing you could do is, I don't do this, but you could do the packaged birthdays at Sky Zone, Pump It Up, whatever you live in your city or country. I know you have those, so that all you have to do is like go there, food is provided, everything is there, and then you leave. My only beef with those places is sometimes I'm not ready to be out in 2 hours or 2.5 hours. It's a very short time. But if you're that person who's ready to leave at that time, do it. Go to Sky Zone or something, plan that, especially if you don't have a kid who wants to invite 40 kids or something, whatever works for your budget and your time. If you can do the packaged ones, that's really good. Another way to do that is also to combine birthdays. So if your son or daughter has a friend who they love each other, the birthdays don't even have to be close together. Before, I used to think you only combine birthdays that are really close together, but I've been going to several birthdays where one kid is born in June, the other one in August, but they like each other, so they celebrate in the middle. And I think that's really a good idea. You do less work and you get to have more fun because then you invite everyone, you don't have to worry about it. So those are a few ways that I think you could make a birthday good enough. Another thing you could do is always try to keep it simple. I know they say this like for anniversaries, like for your first wedding anniversary, if you want to buy a diamond or whatever, it's cool, but like keep it simple to like paper, which is the theme, because you'll be upgrading each and every birthday. So you don't want to go all out and next year you won't be able to upgrade past that. My idea with birthdays for kids is I would do like a few balloons in the house, a good breakfast, whatever they want, but the presents are some few things that they really want instead of filling up the house and then being mad when your child doesn't use these things later or you find them broken or something. So, just think about what your kid likes. If your kid doesn't like cake, don't get a birthday cake. Get birthday donuts, a birthday apple pie, something else. So, figure out whatever it is your kid wants. Keep it simple. Some people on their kid's birthday will miss school and maybe have a yes day. I don't do yes days because I think the boundaries might just be beyond what I can handle. But if you feel you can handle that, it's a great way to make your kid's birthday exciting and great. Another thing you could do that's always kind of nice is a family dinner at a restaurant. And that becomes a nice tradition. And I'm just a big fan of traditions because later on in life, it's a good way to connect with your kids. We went to Benihana's one day. We had no idea. This place is like birthday central. We thought we were being so original. I'm like, let's go to do a birthday dinner at this place called Benihana's. I saw on a show. And we went and everybody, every single table, happy, happy birthday, happy. And they're loud about the birthdays and stuff. So you could do that. A family dinner is so good because your relatives get to come. You're not cleaning up. You're not doing all of that. And, it's not as confined as like a Sky Zone package because you don't have the hours. It's really just more open. So find out what your kid likes. Do what they want, especially if they're older. And let's have a great birthday that might just be simple, even though you want a party. If your kid is like between 3 and 10, consider the park. Park birthdays are so nice. Of course, you're going to get the people who deliver the chairs. Don't do where you have to bring the chairs yourself. Get the chairs delivered there. Have, of course, people help with decor, make it simple, and plan some activities. Maybe hire those people who do face painting and an activity. But the park is just a beautiful place to have a birthday. I really, really love park birthdays. So I think I've given you a lot of tips. The park birthdays are good because you can invite as many people as you want. You don't have a time constraint, but your house is still clean at the end of the day. You're not cleaning up in your house. Personally, I like to host. So I like to have people over to my house. And that was a big factor that was influencing me even getting a house. So it just depends on you, whatever you like, what's your hosting style and what your kid likes. Combine that, have a good enough birthday. All right. And don't forget, have a good enough life, be a good enough mom so you can be great. Peace. All right. I totally messed up the tagline. I keep forgetting it.